and thank you all for being on time, right? Today, our lesson will be on some ways that we can do effective and accurate research on the internet. And we are going to look at it in specific relation to this topic, the world beyond us. Okay, so we will have two parts to today's lesson. The first part will be Mr. Pang covering some of these ideas. And then the second part, if there are, will be a place for you all to volunteer and you can ask questions about, for example, what are some of the websites. You can also present on some of the things that you've learned on Google Earth, right? I did tell you all to try and download the application and look for one place of interest, didn't I? Okay, some place that you're really interested to explore, right? So if any of you have some exploration information that you would like to share with us, that will be in the second part of today's presentation. All right. So without further ado, please sit up straight, give me your full and undivided attention for the next 15 minutes or so, and I will cover something that will help you to do your research more effective. Okay. Right. Thank you all for being on time, or many of you were even earlier, right? So I'm going to begin now. So today we're going to talk about the world beyond us, and we're going to talk about how we can use the internet to find out more about outer space. Okay, so that's what the lesson is going to be about. And at the end of today's lesson, I will suggest 3 websites for all of you to explore that will meet the requirements of a reliable, accurate, and appropriate website. Okay, a reliable, accurate, and appropriate website. These 3 websites will meet that requirement or that criteria. Okay, so let's go. So today, I'm going to be talking about how to conduct research on the internet. And many of you already know this, but I'm just going to go through the points one by one. And then as I go through the points, please stop me if you cannot remember or if you are not sure of what I'm talking about. Okay, so point number 1 is you begin your search or research, right? So research contains the word search. Therefore, we need to start with a search. And we need to do more than one search. That's why it's called research, right? So when we look at the internet, the easiest way for us to conduct a search on the internet is to use, for example, a search engine. Okay, now you will notice that I have mentioned 2 search engines here, right? They are the more popular ones, right? Can you all think of any other search engines besides the 2 that I've just mentioned? Anyone raise your hands if you can think of another search engine besides Google or Bing? Aha, okay. I see a hand raised there. Alpheus, would you like to unmute and give me an example of another search engine?
Yahoo.
Yahoo, very good. Thank you very much. Keen, I see your hand. Can you please unmute and tell me what you think is another one?
Opera.
Sorry?
Opera.
Oh, okay. So Opera, O-P-E-R-A, is not a search engine, it's a browser. Okay, do y'all know the difference between a search engine and a browser? Okay, a browser is what you use to get on the internet. All right, the search engine is kind of like what you use to find things. Okay, so what Keen just mentioned was a browser. Think about it this way, right? You have a car, the car is the browser. Okay, Keen, are you listening? Right, so the car is the browser. The engine of the car is the search engine. Okay, that will help you to remember it a little bit easier. So Internet Explorer, right? Safari, right? Google Chrome, these are browsers, they're the car, right? But Google, Bing, and Yahoo, these are the search engines, okay? So thank you for bringing that up. So number 1, we begin by searching on a web browser like Internet Explorer or Safari or Google Chrome, and we use a search engine like Google or Bing, okay, or Yahoo for the matter. Any of these will work, okay? Now, when we use these search engines, we must enter something, right? So if I am searching on the internet for a topic like outer space, what kind of words would I enter into the search engine to search for related websites? Anybody? What kind of words would I use if I want to search on the topic of outer space? Kaiji? Kaiji, there is no sound coming in. I'm sorry. All right. Is there anybody else who would like to try? While Kaiji is fixing his technical difficulties, Jing Kai, what kind of terms would I use to search for a topic on outer space? Give me some words that I might type into the search engine.
Planets.
Planets, very good. Planets would work. All right. Planets are a very specific term that I can search for. What else would I want to enter in if I want to look for something other than planets? Anybody else? Yes, go ahead, Kaden. Kaden, go ahead. I can't hear you. There's no sound coming in. Okay, never mind. While Kaden is fixing his mic issue, Kevin, go ahead.
The solar system.
The solar system, very good. Okay, the solar system, that will provide some outer space examples, right? Including solar systems. Very good. Maybe just one more example. So I've got planets, right? I've got solar systems. What else can I search for that will give me some results? Keen, go ahead.
Eclipse.
Okay, an eclipse. Okay. Are you all aware that there are two kinds of eclipses, right? Do you know what the two kinds of eclipses? Do you all know what are eclipses? Right? Yeah, some of you may not know. An eclipse is when something comes between the Earth and a source of light. Okay, so what's the source of light for the Earth? What provides light to the Earth? Keen, go ahead.
The sun.
Okay, Enzo, is the sun the only thing that provides light to the Earth? If not, can you tell me the other main thing that provides light to the Earth? Enzo?
The sun is the only one.
Oh no, I disagree with you on that. It's not the sun that's the only source of light for the Earth, isn't it? There's something else that provides us with a source of light. Can anyone tell me what's the thing that gives me source of light at night? At night, what appears in the sky that gives me a source of light? Anyone? Okay, let's have Kevin.
The moon.
Right, okay, so it is incorrect to say that the sun is the only source of light for the Earth, right? Actually, the moon is also a source of light at night. So when we talk about an eclipse, right, something blocking the source of light, it could be a solar eclipse, which is the sun being eclipsed, or it could be a lunar eclipse, which is the moon being eclipsed, right? So that's pretty cool. You could search for eclipses, right? And you'll find that there are two kinds at least, right? There are other kinds of eclipses as well, but these are the two main kinds. So these are some good examples of how we can search for something on the internet. So planets, solar systems, the sun, the moon, right? Eclipses, all these are powerful words that you can use, right? So once you have search for these kinds of websites, the next question is, how do I know whether these websites are reliable, right? Okay. And you will look at some of the points that I've covered here. You need to look at the domain names. I think Kaiji messaged me just now to remind me that we must look for websites that start with G or end with gov.sg, right? Kaiji, that's what you messaged Mr. Pang in the chat. Okay. So definitely good. Look out for websites that end with gov or edu or org, right? But of course, gov and edu are the more reliable ones, okay? And if you see the word SG, then you know that that website has its home in Singapore, all right? But SG is not required, okay? Gov, edu, all these are good, reliable websites. Then look out for sources by experts. Now, who are the experts when it comes to outer space? Can anyone tell me who is an expert on outer space? Is Mr. Pang an expert on outer space? Jing Kai?
Astronauts.
Astronauts, yeah, very good. Okay, astronauts are definitely experts in outer space. So if an astronaut has a website, then you definitely want to look at what he's saying. Okay, good, good. Alpheus, you raised your hand as well.
I was going to say the same thing.
You're going to say the same thing. Okay, good. Astronauts are people who go out to space, so they would be experienced and experts. Who else? Jalene, go.
Astronomers.
Astronomers. Okay, so it's not astronomers, it's astronomers. Okay, Jalene, can you pronounce it astronomers?
Astronomers.
Very good. Astronomers are people who study astronomy, which is a study of the stars and the solar systems out there in the universe. Okay, so astronomers are experts. They are scientists that specialize in studying space. So good, astronomers. Okay, generally scientists, right? Okay, now have you all heard of NASA? Where is NASA found? Is NASA in Singapore? Is NASA a Singaporean company? Alpheus, where is NASA?
America?
America, very good. It's the National Agency for Space Exploration in America, right? Okay, so it's a very big organization that sends spaceships out and has huge telescopes that study the stars. Okay, so do you think they would be an expert that you want to consult when you research? Yes. Okay, I see a lot of nodding heads. Very good. Okay, so always look out for sources that are reliable. Gov, edu. Always look for experts in the field like NASA and astronomers, right? And other scientists that study the stars. And one important thing is to look at the date. Okay, if the information is too old, it may no longer be reliable. Right? Do you all agree with me? Right? Because science is always advancing, right? What is a discovery today will become old news by tomorrow, right? And then it's like your handphone, right? If you bought a handphone 5 years ago, do you think it would still be up to date today? No, right? Yeah, because technology is moving very fast. It's the same for science, okay? So you must look at the date. If there's a date on a website, you must check that it's not too long ago, because very often science is always increasing, improving, and advancing. So we don't want to take old information. We want to make sure the information is as recent and not outdated as possible. Okay? And then finally, I'm going to cover show in a short while. Okay? Are you all good so far? Do you all understand what Mr. Pang is saying? Okay, so a few very quick points to remember. Number one, check that the website ends with gov, edu, or org. Okay. Number two, make sure that the sources, this website is produced by someone who is very reliable, like an expert in the field. Number three, look at the date of the website. Make sure it's not too old. Okay. And I will summarize all of this in Sure later. Okay. And that's why you all have your notebook, right? As you are doing your research, please take notes of the things that you want to remember, because there's going to be a lot of information. The solar system, the outer space, the planets and black holes and all of this, there's a lot of information. So you can't study them all. You need to take notes of what you think you want to focus on. Okay, so very important to take some notes to help you remember where's the website and what you can do. Okay, so later Mr. Pang is going to demonstrate using a website. Okay, and I'll show you how I do my research and my notes, right? Just in a very simplified way. So are you all ready for a short demonstration later? Okay, so you don't need to do anything. I will demonstrate for you. But for now, please just remember these three main points. I need to look at the website, the way it ends, gov, edu. I need to look at the fact that it's produced by experts. And I need to look at the date in which it was published. Okay, very important are these 3 points. Okay, and then take notes and track your sources. What do I mean by track your sources? Make sure you have the website URL, okay, or the address of the website, so that you can credit the website. Okay, it's like if I use information, I borrow something from someone, I must give that person credit. Okay, so when I take information from the internet, I am borrowing information from someone who owns it. So I must credit the person. I must say thank you to NASA, or thank you to Mr. Pang, or thank you to whoever has provided the information, so that I do not plagiarize or steal that information without giving the person recognition for finding it in the first place. Okay, everybody clear? Right, so these are some general guidelines. Do you have any questions? Who is not sure about anything, please wave your hands and I will try to explain a little bit more. Okay, is Mr. Pang's explanation clear? Okay, very good. Did y'all learn something new today? A little bit of something new today? Okay, I hope that you did. Okay, so I think some of the things that you may already know, but some of the things I hope has helped you to be a little bit clearer about how to do research on the internet. Okay, so it's very simple. I'm going to look at Sure right now, just to remind you of what we looked at during Yip Siu. Okay, so remember, it ties in with what we just covered now. So look at the source. Okay, the source is like, is it gov, is it edu, is it org? Okay, then understand what you are reading, okay? Make sure that what you are reading makes sense, okay? So you have logic, you can look at the content of what they're saying. For example, if they say that the Earth is the biggest planet in the world, right, in the universe, you know that that doesn't make sense. There's something wrong there, right? Okay, Earth cannot be the biggest planet in the universe because you may have read elsewhere that in our solar system, the sun is the biggest planetary body, right, by far, compared to all the other planets in the solar system, okay? So that kind of thing, right? Making sure that you use your logic as you are reading, right, means to understand. Okay, and then next is to research, which is when we go online, when we start to look at different websites. Okay, do you think one website is better or 3 websites are better? Which one do you think is better? 3, right?
3.
Okay, 3, very good, thank you. Right, so always look at multiple sources of information. Don't limit yourself to one. That's why it's called research, right? You don't just search once, but you search multiple times and you look for different sources, and these different sources should all give you more and more and more information about what you are looking at, and they should also confirm that what you are looking at is true. Okay, so look at more than one source, which is why today Mr. Pang will give you 3 websites that you can explore over the weekend. All right, so 3 reliable, appropriate, and clear resources that will help you to navigate this topic. Okay, finally, you need to evaluate. Okay, now this is a difficult word, a difficult skill. You need to look at this topic from all these different sources, and you need to come up with a balanced and personal response to it. So what do I mean by a balanced and personal response? That means you need to read, and then you need to come to your own conclusion, right? You need to decide for yourself, right, whether you want to use this information and how you want to use this information. All right, so it's very important. Later, I will explain to you what do I mean by whether and how you want to use this information. Okay, so just a quick reminder, look at the source, understand the contents, research into it even more, and then evaluate what you have found on the internet to make sure that it is balanced and fair. Okay, right? Should be quite easy with this topic because this is a very factual topic on outer space. I don't think people will argue that the sun is hot, for example, right? It's quite clear that the sun is extremely hot, for example, all right? So any questions at this point? Are you all refreshed about what SURE is all about and what it stands for? Okay, I just bring you back, the previous slide, okay, that we were talking about, was to use a search engine of your choice, right? Evaluate whether that information that you found is credible, take notes about what you find, and finally, write down the website so you can credit or thank the person who provided the information for you. All of this is summarized in SURE. Okay? All right. Are you all okay so far? Okay, about 20 minutes have elapsed. I've gone over my time a little bit. At this point in time, would anybody be interested in sharing what you have found? Oh, maybe let's leave that for later, okay? If you would like to share what you found on Google Earth with all of us, and you would like to, give us a little bit more information about the place that you found on Google Earth, message me on the chat, and I will give you a few minutes later to share after I finish my segment. Okay, Ken? If you're interested, if you're not, you're feeling nervous or you're not really prepared, it's okay. You don't have to. It's not compulsory. But I would love to see if you have something to share. Okay, on what you found on Google Earth. If you do, please send me a message via the chat or through WhatsApp, and I will give you a chance later, okay, to respond. If not, it's perfectly fine. I understand that you might be a bit nervous sharing on an online forum like this. Okay, Ken? Right, so along the way, if you feel inspired and you want to share, by all means, give me a quick message. Okay, now, I promised you that I would introduce 3 websites for all of you to explore, right? You might want to take note of this, okay? For those of you who are able to write very fast now, you may want to take down the the website links, the URL, right? That is in orange, right? Can y'all see? HTTPS, www.nasa.gov.sg. Okay, so all those things, right? You can take it down if you want to, but if not, don't worry, I will send these links to your parents. Okay, I will also post this on SLS. So you will be able to access it and you'll be able to click on the link and visit those websites later. If you are really excited and you want to do it right now, right before Mr. Pang has had a chance to post the video and the SLS assignment, then please copy it down. Okay, I will give you a couple of minutes if you want to. You may not want to copy all three. You might just want to choose one first to explore it. That's okay. And then by the time I post the links, you will have the other two, right? So these are three, in my mind, very reliable sources, okay? So you can search for your own, but you will probably find nothing much better than these three, in my opinion, okay? Let me explain to you why, okay? You notice that these are all websites prepared for children. Can you see that, right? These are children appropriate websites. Why do you think that it is important that you visit children related websites on Outer Space and not adult websites on Outer Space? Why do you think it is important to look for children related websites on Outer Space? I'm talking about Outer Space. Yes, Keen, go ahead.
Because if you visit an adult website, it may have words that you don't understand.
Very good, right? Yeah, because they are prepared for adults who may be scientists or who may be very knowledgeable. They will use a lot of very difficult words, and it's difficult for you to understand, and therefore you can't get the information you need, right? If you don't understand it. So very good, Keen. Language is one major problem. So we try not to visit websites that are pitched above us, right? So if I'm writing to an adult, I will not write the same way as I write to Keen, for example. Good. Any other reasons why you think it is important to visit the kids' version or the children's version of a website? What else might be different besides the language? Kaiji, go ahead. Kaiji? Oh, I see your microphone's not working, is it? Okay. All right. Yes, Alpheus, go ahead.
It may be inappropriate for children.
It may be inappropriate for children in the sense that the content, right? The kind of scientific concepts, right, might be too advanced. Do you agree with me? Okay. So for example, in math, right, you're learning in primary school about geometry, right? You're learning about circles, right? You're learning about the area of a circle. Now, would you be able to tell me how to calculate the area of a three-dimensional object like a cube or sphere? Would you be able to do that? Have you learned that yet? No, right? Yeah. So if I were to talk to you about the volume of a cube or a sphere, you will be totally lost because you don't know what and how to find the volume of a sphere or a cuboid, right? So it's the same thing. In science, if I visit a website that's too adult, then the concepts are not appropriate. It's inappropriate for children because they're too advanced, right? They'll be talking about things that are way beyond my knowledge, okay? So very important, the language and the content, right, are not appropriate for children. So when you search on the internet, it would be helpful to search, for example, planets for kids, right? Or all about black holes for children. Okay, so when you add the for children, what it does is that it only shows you websites that are designed for your age. Okay, if you type just black holes, for example, you will find a lot of very advanced, very high level information. Okay, so these three websites I have located based on your age. Okay, so you will find content there that's more fun, that's more accessible, that's more interesting, that's more attractive to your knowledge level. Okay, so I suggest that you take down, right, at least one of them, and then you can click on the links later when I post it. Okay, but remember, when you search for information on the internet, it isn't just about how reliable it is. It must also be, like I mentioned very early in the presentation, appropriate for your age. Okay, so one easy way to do it is to add the words for children or for kids. Okay, in American terms, kids means children. Okay, so a lot of websites are American. So if you use the word for kids, then that helps you to find some of these websites as well. Okay, at this point, any information? I'm talking a lot, so I'm going to stop. Any information? Okay, Alpheus, you mentioned that you would like to share on Google Earth Place. Is that correct? Awesome. Okay, Alpheus is going to share. I hope his microphone works, but we'll give him some time later to share. Besides Alpheus, is there anybody else who would like to share? Keen as well. Awesome. Okay, so Keen and Alpheus will share. So stick around, right? Let's listen to their short sharing later. Okay, before that, let me just end off my segment by talking about your assignment. Okay, and thank you all for sticking with me. I've taken a little over 25 minutes. I'm sorry about the delay. Okay, so this is your assignment for today. Okay, the words in bold are the important pieces of information that I would like you to work on. Okay, so let me explain to you what I expect you to do. Your job today is to visit these 3 websites. Okay, you don't need to search for additional websites. You can use the 3 websites I provided, or if you wish to, you can search for your own websites using what I just taught you, but I think that will be a little time consuming, so I leave it up to you. When you have chosen your 2 or 3 websites, okay, or use my 2 or 3 websites, please craft 2 main paragraphs containing 2 main ideas about a topic of choice that you would like to explore in outer space. Okay, do you know what I mean by a topic in outer space? Would you like me to give you some examples of topics in outer space? No, you all know? All good? Okay, so you can choose your own topics. It can be about anything, but it must be about outer space. I don't want any topics on sports people because that was our previous topic. Okay, so today you will read the websites I provided and you will find an area of interest, and then you will write 2 paragraphs. Each paragraph must have a main idea. For example, if I'm writing about black holes, right, I might want to say that black holes, right, are areas in space, right, where there are no stars or planets. Okay, so I might start that out as a main idea, and then I will give supporting details, more information. Where do I get this information from? The websites that I visit. Okay, but let me caution you, please do not copy and paste the entire chunk. I want you to rewrite, rephrase these pieces of information, 2 or 3 supporting details. Kaiji, please sit properly. 2 or 3 pieces of information, all right, supporting details to your main idea. It must be related to your main idea. I don't want you to copy and paste it. I want you to write it in your own words. And I want you to include a sentence at the end of the paragraph that expresses what you think, right? So you might be, I think that this is really amazing because, right? So I think that this thing about black holes is really amazing because, and then you give your own personal opinion about why you think this way. Okay, so that's 2 paragraphs of maybe about 4 or 5 lines each, right? You type it out on SLS. Okay, so this will be submitted through SLS. When will this assignment be available? It will be available this evening, along with the video recording of today's session, which I will post in the same SLS assignment, along with all of these instructions. So you cannot worry about forgetting it. It will all be there in the assignment. Okay, at this point in time, before I hand the time over to our 2 presenters, Alpheus and Keen, are there any questions about the assignment? Yes, Keen. What is it?
I was just asking if I could go to the toilet.
Yes, go ahead. You can go to the washroom. Okay. All right. Any other questions about the assignment? All right. Very good. Awesome. So I'm sure that you are very clear about it, right? It's a very simple assignment. Don't overcomplicate matters. Visit the websites, look through them, find one area of interest, write 2 paragraphs, 2 main ideas, 2 supporting details each, and then submit it to me through SLS. The deadline will be this coming Tuesday. Okay, so I'm giving you 4 days to do it. Today, tomorrow, Monday, and Tuesday. All right. So you should have more than enough time to write these 2 paragraphs. Monday is your learning journey. So do try to finish this at least by Sunday. All right. So you will have enough time to prepare for your learning journey on Monday. It will be a whole day, right? So no questions. Then maybe I can start by having Alpheus share with us his location, right? So Alpheus, please unmute your microphone and try to be as close to the microphone as possible as you tell us, right, a little bit more about your chosen place, which is the Palazzo San Giacomo, right? Am I correct? Is that the place that you've chosen, which I assume is in Spain? No? Okay, is it in Italy then? Yeah, okay, right. So Mr. Bang is going to spotlight Alpheus, okay, right? And y'all should see Alpheus being spotlighted, okay? Alpheus, are you ready? When you are, can you give me a thumbs up and then you can unmute yourself and begin the presentation. Okay, go for it, Alpheus.
The area I've chosen is a palace in Naples, Italy. It's a neoclassical style palace in central Naples, Italy. It stands before the fortress of the Maschino and straddling the zones of Porto and San Ferdinando. It houses the mayor and the offices of the municipality of Naples. It was opened in 1825. It started building in the construction started in 1819, and the architect was Stefano Gas.
Okay, thank you, Alpheus. Was that all?
I think this place is very interesting because it's a place in Italy and it's a palace, and I would really like to visit it.
Awesome. Thank you, Alpheus. Let's give him a virtual round of applause, everybody. Well done. Good job. Okay. Thank you, Alpheus, for having the courage to share with all of us. Okay. Everybody, I want you to be encouraging with whoever is sharing. So when I say virtual round of applause, I expect everybody to be giving a round of applause because that is showing respect to the person who has taken the time and the effort to prepare and present. Okay. So please show your appreciation to Alpheus, who has done so. Okay, thank you, Alpheus. Right, so there were a number of words that you could not pronounce, and I think there were quite a number of concepts that were a bit difficult, vocabulary that's a bit advanced. So that's why those of you, you all heard him use words like straddle, and you heard him use words like on the outskirts, right, and mayor, all these words that you don't understand, please go and use an online dictionary and find out what they mean. Okay, it's very important to clarify meanings of words that you don't understand. That's how you learn, all right? Don't stumble over words that you don't understand and then forget them later. Then there's no benefit to you, okay? So good job, Alpheus. I have included in the chat for everyone the name of the palace that Alpheus shared. It's located in Naples, which is one of the main cities in Italy, right? It's not the capital city, but it's one of the major cities in Italy called Naples, right? And this palace, the Palazzo San Giacomo, is in this particular city called Naples. So if you are interested in discovering it, please go and Google it, right? You can Google Palazzo San Giacomo. Yes, you may. Go ahead, right? And you can basically find out a little bit more and see some pictures on it, okay? So thank you, Alpheus. Right, next, can we have Keen to share on his location of interest? Go ahead, Keen. Please unmute yourself.
Hello everyone, today I am going to be sharing about the Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty is a colossal sculpture on Liberty Island in New York City. This copper statue is made by Frederick Auguste Bartholdi, and its metal framework was built by Gustave Eiffel. This is the Statue of Libertas, a Roman goddess of liberty. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Keen. That was well presented with mainly well-pronounced words. Let's give him a round of applause. Well done. Good job, Keen. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Right. So Statue of Liberty found in the New York City harbor, right? has a very famous poem carved at its base. Okay, it's world famous. So those of you who are interested, you can go and Google Statue of Liberty poem, right? And you will see that it's a very inspiring poem, right? Written to welcome people from all over the world, right? So those of you who are interested can Google Statue of Liberty, all right? Just now, we were in Naples, Italy, and we looked at a palace called Palazzo San Giacomo. Now we are in America, in New York City, in the harbor, looking at a huge, big statue made of steel structure, right? Called the Statue of Liberty or Statue de Libertas, right? This statue, interestingly enough, was designed and created by the same person who built the Eiffel Tower, right? That's pretty cool, right? Do you all know the Eiffel Tower? Yeah, that's another world wonder, right? The Eiffel Tower, okay? So you can go and look up Statue of Liberty and find out more about it. So thank you to our two presenters, Alpheus and Keen. I would like to encourage the rest of us to share in future Zoom sessions and also in class, right? It's been a while since we've had sharings, and I look forward to hearing and seeing you all present more often and with more confidence. So well done. Thank you again, Alpheus and Keen. Good job and the extra effort you put in. The rest of us, right? If you want to, let me know in class, and then we'll have 5 to 10 minutes of sharing sessions on areas of interest that you've located on Google Earth. All right. Now, without further ado, I'm going to end the session because it's already 10:45. I promised you it will be about half an hour or less, and we've already exceeded by 15 minutes. The recording will be made available by this evening on the SLS assignment as well. So look out for it. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. You can always message me. And then if you need help, view the video again to review the concepts that I've covered, because I went a bit faster than normal. Okay. Without further ado, if you have no questions and you are all good, then can we once again give a round of applause to all the presenters? All right. And then you all can leave once you are ready. Okay. Bye. Have a good Saturday and Sunday. See you all. Thanks for your time.